This is Brian Etheridge, Sic'Em365, doing our 10 things following Baylor's loss to Oklahoma 14-27. So starting out with our 10 things here. Just clone Jalen Petrie, and he can haunt Spencer Rattler and Marvin Mims for years to come like the ghosts of Christmas past. That's how good of a hit he put on Marvin Mims. That kid's going to remember it for the rest of his life. Spencer Rattler didn't appreciate all the pounding he took from the Baylor defense, but they got after him. It was good to see. The field goals were on target, but short by, 5 yards or so. I guess it was time to go for it for 29 and in, and Baylor did go for it several times on fourth down tonight. The Baylor defense looked strong. It's probably one of the best, most complete games they've played for all year. Get you some Josh Landry. I mean, come on and got him a sack as well. The tackle on Ebner didn't look good. He was never the same following that tackle. Got rolled up, leg got a little hung up underneath him. Doesn't look to be anything. It's most likely an ankle sprain or hopefully not a high ankle sprain. But he came in, played a couple plays, and then didn't return. So he had a great interception from Christian Morgan, but I wasn't a fan of the play calling following that interception. The injury to Ben Sims, didn't look good. It looked like an ACL because the knee just sort of collapsed or crumpled there, and you never need to see that. He was having a good year. But things do happen. But prayers up to him for being a quick recovery if it is an ACL. So welcome back Tyquan Thornton. The offense started to show some life there in the third quarter, and then we had Giancarlo Valentin playing center. Who would have had that? But he looked good. I wish if he'd have played that way all year long, maybe the offensive line would have gelled a little better. But he did look good, and he's been out obviously for certain reasons, not behavioral. So we can just sort of speculate what those things were. And but looked really good. I was happy to see him at center, and had more or less the OU D line was held in check a little bit while he was in there. We got to get Abram Smith some Sic'Em. He's probably gonna relive that in his head all night tonight. Of that ball going through his hands and for a touchdown. I hate to see Jonah White also get injured there because the bleachers are so close to the sideline at these Oklahoma stadiums. I guess the Oklahoma people don't understand sidelines. It's like a 3-2 beer. They don't understand that either, even though they've finally gotten rid of that. But it's great to see Michael McNair make a play at the end of the game. Always look good to see a walk-on come in and get a play, and he held OU from getting a first down. So Baylor got the ball back. Nothing really happened after that, though. 30 seconds to go. So, but again, most complete game of the year against probably their best opponent. So, is that a side of things to come, or is it just teasing us? But hopefully it's a side of things to come. But that's our 10 things. We got good cop, bad cop coming up here. Call them in 254-339-1122. You can guess which one's good and bad, or are they both bad or both good? I don't know. But JD and Drake coming up. Postgame show.
This is the Sic'Em365 radio postgame show. Here's Drake Toll and J.D. PicKell.
And we are live in the Texas Farm Bureau Insurance Broadcast Center on the Sic'Em365 Baylor postgame show. I'm Drake Toll alongside former Baylor football player J.D. PicKell on Central Texas' #1 radio show, recapping Baylor's 27-14 loss against the Sooners of Oklahoma in Norman. We're live. The phone lines are open, and your calls are coming in. You can join in the fun at 254-339-1122. How about old Brian Etheridge coming on with his 10 things, 14 things today?
It's a misnomer. You pay for 10, you get 14. Buy 10, get 4 free. That's the deal here.
You're a premium user out there, and you think, I'm ready for 10 things about this game. You find 14, you got to be happy.
It's very digestible. 14 things. Good for the soul. And what a game, dude. What a doozy of a game. I know we both got a lot to talk about. The phone line's got a lot to talk about, but I'm just going to say this. 56 pass attempts?
Yeah.
56 pass attempts? That's probably more than Navy will throw all season.
Then Charlie Brewer completed 30 of them. Charlie Brewer completed 30 passes today.
Like 5 or 6 drops. We'll get to that.
263 yards.
I digress.
Tell you what, though, Baylor didn't play terribly. The soundbite was going to be, oh, no, we suck again. But it's not like that. Baylor played well, so instead...
Suspense is killing me here.
We having some technical difficulties?
No, that's fine. That's fine. We'll get to that.
This wasn't good enough. It's a
the
no
whole
from me.
seat,
It came in late.
but you only need the edge.
Yes or no?
You did your best, but I guess your best wasn't good enough. It's a no from me.
So close. Baylor played well today, and things just didn't work out for the Bears. In the end, they fall to Oklahoma 27-14. We've got the call lines filling up. Richard, you're on with Sic'Em365 Radio.
Hey, fellas, how's it going? Thanks for having me again this week. But, I thought I was expecting actually, a blowout. I thought we'd lose by, more than 20, but defense played really well. I thought for the most part, defense played really well, kept us in the game, and we were in the game the whole time. It seemed like we did everything. Defense did everything we needed to pull the upset, but we left 6 points on the board with missing those field goals, and the offense just couldn't get it together again. Only 25 yards of rushing. It was just another frustrating game to watch, just because we had the chance to pull the upset if we just had a competent offense. And I don't know if it's a combo of QB play, O-line play, wide receiver drops, play calling. I don't know what it is with this offense, and it's just was just Nixon a wizard. The last couple seasons. It's just kind of hard to just imagine how our offense could regress so much this season, and I don't know if we just need a whole another off season to improve, but I don't see how things can improve even next year. I don't know if it's going to take maybe 2 or 3 seasons to finally get our offense to where it was, but hopefully. For the most part, played a good game against OU, really tough team, number 11 team. So, maybe hopefully against Oklahoma State, we can finally get it together on offense and pull out a win.
Yeah. Yeah, Richard, thanks so much for your call. And I think you made a lot of great points. Going back to our sound bites we have loaded up for today, I think one of those that applies really well to that phone call.
Oh, well, we tried.
There it is. We got a new mixer board here, and it's really cool and really new, but too new.
We're going to get there.
We're almost there.
Much like the Baylor offense, it is still a work in progress.
So, and piggybacking off of that call, one of these texts from the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line says, "Fire Larry Fedora?" ? What?
Can we all calm down? Can we all just calm down a little bit? I know this season is not what anybody hoped for. I feel like a broken record. It's going to take some time. This season is not what anybody expected, planned for, hoped for. And nobody could have hoped for this or planned for this. But he said something interesting. He's like, hey, I thought we were going to get blown out in this game. I think a lot of people thought we were going to get blown out in this game.
I did.
There was some people that thought we'd get blown out. Some people thought, Baylor would win the game. So there was a bunch of different perspectives and a bunch of different opinions. But all things considered, Baylor played a pretty good game. I know the scoreboard doesn't reflect that. I'm not going to be the overly optimistic guy that I think has been kind of the perception I've garnered here, whether that's fair or not.
Are you saying that you've been the good cop and you're now going to be the bad cop?
No, I'm just saying I'm going to go ahead and call it like I see it, and I'm telling you 26 carries and 25 yards. That's hard to win a football game that way.
You played college
That's
football
hard to
for
win a
5
football
years.
game.
Is that good?
It's not good.
It's
not good. It's not even remotely close to okay. And also, 26 carries is not enough as a team when Charlie Brewer's getting 13 of those.
I tell you what, if you're listening out there, make sure you download the Sic'Em365 app, and you can listen uninterrupted audio. Again, the Sic'Em365 app. Drake Toll alongside J.D. PicKell. We have Jack Wheeler calling in to talk, as he does every week. Jack, you are on with Sic'Em365 Radio.
All right, where can I start? First off, my guy Dylan Doyle, still killing it every single week. Every week.
Yeah, he's playing on Sundays.
And second off, considering that some of the announcers on the Fox crew, Urban Meyer guys, were picking us to lose by 40 points, I would say we did a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
What is that?
And, and also, Charlie throwing the passes. Some people would say some of the passes weren't great. But he had some passes where they would have been completed if the receivers hadn't.
It's me. I am some of the people. But yes.
Yep. The very last thing I got to do is to say a quick shout-out to the Woodlands High School graduate, Jacoby Clark, for playing tonight. Hail to the Highlanders. That's all I got. See you, boys.
Thanks so much for your call, as always, Jack. 56 attempts, 30 completions this week for Charlie Brewer, just 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, but at least 4, 5, maybe 6 of those attempts go right through the hand of your intended receiver.
He was on target for the most part. The thing that I think is most interesting to look at is 4.7 yards a completion. That means you're not pushing the ball downfield even a little bit. And if you throw it 56 times and you can't get more than 10 yards of completion, you got problems. You got schematic problems.
You played 5 years of college football. Is that good?
4.5. Again, not good at all. Not even close to good.
We've got UT Mike on the phone lines.
I love this guy. UT Mike. Let's let him talk.
UT Mike, you're on with Sic'Em365 Radio.
UT Mike! Guys, listen, did y'all get to see that game today?
Why do you ask us this every week?
My Longhorns that killed K-State. I know you watched it.
How many points did Texas have today? How many points did Texas have? This is good.
69. 69. What else you got for me, Drake?
Hell, keep going.
You called us.
That's all I needed.
Yeah. Okay, listen. Charlie Brewer is completely incapable of winning the game. Charlie Brewer showed his true colors today in the second quarter when he cheap-shotted that guy running out of bounds.
Gritty.
That right there in itself proves my point from last week that Dave Aranda is a terrible head football coach because he doesn't have control of his all-star quarterback.
Wait.
Charlie Brewer
did Baylor win last week?
Hey,
wait a second. Hold on a second. Did you say that Charlie Brewer can't win football games?
He's just incapable of winning the big football games. Did
Baylor win 11 games last year under Charlie Brewer? Wait a second, UT Mike.
Under Matt Rule?
No. Who was the quarterback?
Yep, Aranda.
How many touchdown passes does Matt Rule throw?
Aranda. Hey, it all starts at the top. Aranda's terrible.
Oh, it definitely does.
Listen, next point.
There's more.
Not a fair point, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah. There's more.
I figured there would be.
Charlie Brewer, he needs to bow out. He doesn't need to come back next year. I don't know if that's the talk over there or whatever, but he needs to go. He's done. He's not ever going to do anything for y'all. And listen, last week, stubby arm T-Rex, keep my name out of your mouth.
Hey, T-Rex, do not talk about his mouth. UT Mike's mouth stays out of this.
UT Mike, did you rehearse it in the mirror beforehand? Because you probably should do that a little more.
T-Rex, keep my name out of your mouth. Last week you were talking about how you were going to come down there and grill me and all that. There's no need for all that, T-Rex. Cool your jets, buddy.
UT Mike can't even get into the game. T-Rex, come on, man.
Listen, Herman's going to get fired.
I have nothing to do, but
we're looking forward to
you
it
don't have to
because
ask me to listen.
we are going to get a brand new coach.
What?
And when that time comes, guess what's going to happen?
Are you firing Tom Herman? You were just bragging about winning the football game today.
Hey, we won. We won.
So
but when Urban Meyer rolls into town, all of Baylor's pipe dreams are down the drain.
Hey, UT Mike. Hey, UT Mike.
JD, nice hair. UT Mike out.
UT Mike is out. It is usually a dumpster fire. It was that again, but you know what? It's on brand.
UT Mike, you mean?
Yeah.
He said I had nice hair.
I think he's got a good point. Stephen from Virginia, you are on with Sic'Em365 Radio. Stephen?
Hey, guys. UT Mike just kind of scrambled me for a second. I got all delusional.
Me too.
Yeah, sorry, Steve. Sorry, Steve.
Okay. The first thing I want to say is the thing about Charlie Brewer is that Charlie Brewer may have his limitations. We may see balls tipped at the line of scrimmage. We may see an offense that has to be limited. But other quarterbacks would not be able to do what Charlie has done. And this Baylor team,
I agree.
Even though that was an ugly football game, they held the Sooners under 28 in Norman.
In Norman.
Okay? If this was like 12 or 10 years ago, like Drake, we talked about 2011 a couple weeks ago, and you told me that's why you're a Baylor fan. Like, I have to tell you what it was like before then. Okay? If we had held the Sooners to 27-14 in Norman, like with like pre-Bryles RG3, I think we'd be throwing a party.
How about this, Stephen? Oklahoma had scored 28 or more points in 60 straight games. The longest streak in FBS history. That was snapped today by Baylor.
Yes. And so what I wanted to say is I love Coach Fedora. not Coach Fedora. I love Coach Aranda because he's given me off.
Hey, Larry, just wait. Your day is coming. He's going to love you one day too.
I'm here for Coach Aranda because he's given me big Grant Taft vibes. Grant Taft was a great coach and the greatest coach in the history of this school. And he was always the kind of coach that when we played at home, we had a good record against Texas. And when we played on the road against Texas, the games were competitive. And that's the way I've seen it this year. And even though the things haven't come out on top, that's just kind of the way it is. And the last thing I want to do is shout out to Abram Smith. Because like I said this is a linebacker now, baby.
Yeah. You got to play running back
now. And that's what Grant Taft was in the 80s in Southwest Conference, and that's what we can be again. I love it. And they said it on the broadcast. This is going to be a genius match for years to come between Lincoln Riley on offense and Dave Aranda on defense.
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling that hurt tonight.
Yeah. Should also be noted, Dave Aranda never been a head coach before. Never been a head coach before, once in his life. And a lot of people, we thought Baylor was going to be a step back from last year. Like Sugar Bowl wasn't on the agenda for this year. Nobody thought they'd be, a 2-win team at this point in the season, but there's next year is what's going to be more telling of Coach Aranda and the staff. So,
and it's not as if Baylor's getting blown out every week.
No,
all of these games have been within 1 or 2 possessions.
Which they were a year ago too.
Spectacular.
They just didn't go their way as much.
Matt in DC wants to talk about the offense. After Matt, T-Rex is on the line, and I'm sure he's got a great response for UT Mike alongside Joe Frazier, Michael from Dallas. T-Rex, Joe, and Michael, we're going to hold you guys to after the break just so we give T-Rex the just suspense that we really need going into that call. But for now, we're going to Matt in DC. Matt, talk to us. There you are, Matt.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Been better.
But it was okay,
Yeah. No, it wasn't okay because, first, I just want to say this is to all of the offensive linemen on this team. I hope you all finish your classes, do great exams, and I hope you all graduate this year. And for those not graduating, just please transfer and go play at an FCS school. Like, seriously, I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. There is an offense in Mountain Vernon, Texas that is about to play for the state championship 1 game away with no playbook, and somehow we can't score 30 points a game. You know how many games we would have won this year? We just scored 30, and we can't score 7. This defense does not deserve this offense. Defense,
That's
thank
true.
you so much.
That part was true.
I have my SEC friends right now telling me, you have an SEC defense, and it makes complete sense. Every game, it's like, here's the ball, here's the ball, here's the ball.
Yeah. Defense wins championships.
We can't do a damn thing, gentlemen. And that last drive, Oklahoma is rushing 3 guys, and Charlie is running for his life. And then you sack 3 guys rushing, and he gets sacked. Charlie, I wish you would have stood up and just punched your right tackle right in the mouth. Complete embarrassment from the offense. I'm sick and tired of it. Okay? Complete embarrassment. Defense, I apologize. I am so sorry. I don't even know how the offensive line even comes to the sideline every game after every possession, after we punt. Complete embarrassment. Complete embarrassment. And, gentlemen, thank you for what you're doing. It's been a crappy year, but I saw this. We went into Nerman. We played our asses off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Defense,
we did.
Here's the ball, here's the ball, here's the ball. My God. It's just a complete embarrassment. And I don't know even – I'm out of words, man. It's just, come on. Yeah, we got to do something different. You got an offense that scored 60 points a game with no freaking playbook, and we can't change the scheme, do something. Like, offensive line, please graduate or transfer. And let's get some dogs in here that actually want to play. See you down the road, gentlemen. Good night.
Matt, as always, thanks for your call. Those offensive linemen listening, don't actually transfer. You guys are, look, there's a lot of adversity going on right now, and that group hasn't been able to play together for that long either. And the group of personnel you have right now doesn't necessarily fit exactly what Larry Fedora wants to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to ask a coach who has been really successful in college football to adjust his entire scheme in his first year, in a COVID year, in a pandemic year, and work with it. Yeah. And that's asking a lot.
The Oklahoma defense is no slouch of a
team. That's a very
either.
Good defense. It's one of the best in the Big 12. This is not the defense of old of Oklahoma. This is not the Big 12 of old. Yeah. Things have adjusted in the last 5 years.
At Norman.
At Norman.
You have them at home.
Crazy crowd.
Anytime you have to leave and go on the road and get out of your routine, that's tough. Also, want to note, I don't necessarily know that's fair to compare a high school team at Mount Vernon with no playbook to the Division I FBS Big 12 program. I get where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong. I understand your frustration, and I have similar frustrations as well with the offensive line. Charlie's taking a 3-step drop. Before he can hitch up, he's getting someone in his lap. So that's tough, but let's cool our jets a little bit and understand there's a lot more happening behind the scenes.
Drake Toll alongside J.D. PicKell on the Sic'Em365 Baylor postgame show. Call or text at 254-339-1122. T-Rex, Joe Frazier, Michael from Dallas, and George are all on the call line. T-Rex, we're going to hold over, and you'll be the very first call in segment 2, and we're excited for it. Suspense builds as T-Rex comes on after this break. You're listening to Sic'Em365 Radio.
When it comes to value and great customer service, you can count on us. Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. As a Customer First Award of Excellence winner, our customers always receive exceptional service, and during the Big Finish event, you save thousands on every car, truck, and SUV. Plus, most vehicles feature 0% financing. The Big Finish event. Now at your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels.
Boots add protection. Good boots help you climb better and move forward faster. And when your son or daughter steps into the boots of a U.S. Army officer, they also learn how to lead. In these boots, they'll gain more confidence with expert training in one of more than 150 occupational specialties. In these boots, they'll stand a little taller and lead a team with diverse backgrounds and areas of expertise to successfully accomplish whatever challenge comes next. In these boots, they'll earn respect with valuable experience from day one that will give them solid footing for success into the future. Highly qualified candidates who earn a spot on our team can receive comprehensive health care coverage, college tuition assistance, and a bonus of up to $40,000. See all the things your son or daughter can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
With more than 160,000 alumni worldwide and counting, the Baylor family is growing. And through the university's expanded Baylor alumni program, the family is growing closer. With hundreds of local volunteers planning events in cities and towns around the country, you can gather with fellow Bears no matter where you are. So, get connected, get something started, get involved, and make plans to get together with Baylor alumni. Visit us at baylor.edu/alumni.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
You want to know why Stonewood Dental is so successful? Listen to what happy customers have to say.
It's pleasant. It's different than any other dentist office. I really feel like they care. And it's not that you're here for 2 hours waiting on someone to take care of you. It's quick and easy, and I bring my kids, and my kids love being here too. They really love the treasure box. Staff is really nice and accommodating, real friendly. You feel more like home. It's not sterile looking. Everybody has their own personalized rooms with decorations and decor, and they'll even have a blanket for you when it's cold. I've recommended people to actually come here, and they are patients now. I really love it here. It feels like family.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
This is the Sic'Em365 radio postgame show.
Welcome back to the Texas Farm Bureau Broadcast Center. You're with myself, Drake Toll, alongside former Baylor football player J.D. PicKell on Central Texas' #1 radio hour, the Baylor postgame show on Sic'Em365 radio. Call or text us at 254-339-1122. Do we have the
exactly? I don't mean to sound like Cat Williams, but this is exactly what I've been waiting for.
We have T-Rex on the phone lines. T-Rex, let's take it to you. You're on with Sic'Em365 Radio.
Hey, gentlemen, can you hear me all right? I'm having a little trouble here, a little phone signal, while I'm in Norman. Y'all hear me?
Loud and clear. I love it.
All right, well, I can hear y'all loud and clear. So
yeah, you could.
Cut the feed. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to keep this politically correct, I guess, or PG, however you want to say it, man. So I'm going to try really hard. So I apologize to the FC, whatever that is, the whoever polices podcast, iTunes, whoever. So I'm going to keep this PG. Couple things, all right? And this one's a deep one, all right? I've seen a lot of Baylor football in my life, all right? I've been growing up around Baylor football, and I watched us be terrible under Still and under Morris, and I watched us climb to great heights under Briles, and then I watched us do all right under Rule for for a year or so, and then I watched this year, all right?
Yep.
All things considered, one thing I want to tell everybody, stop blaming COVID. I don't care what your opinion is about the spring. I don't care what your opinion is about how the 2020 had anything to do with it. Everybody had to deal with the same thing. I understand that we had a new coaching staff. I understand that we didn't get a spring practice, all right? But guess what? Everybody had 2-a-days. Everyone had to deal with the same hand that was dealt to them, okay? You either adapt and overcome, or you lay down and you take your licks, all right? And right now we've laid down and take our licks,
hey,
all right? And that's okay.
T-Rex,
but
Missouri.
You got to accept it.
Missouri has a first-year head coach. They're 5-3 right now, so I think you're on to something with this.
Hey, and they're in the SEC, and everyone wants to say the SEC is better than the Big 12. Well, guess what? It sure as hell looks like it right now. So that's what I got to say. And our head coach came from the SEC, so Harold, boom, bingo, there's something bigger. And I love Aranda. I think he has some great height. I think he has a huge ceiling. I think he does.
Yeah.
Well, beyond him, this is what I want to know. All right? If I don't, and this isn't targeted at Dave himself. This isn't targeted at David anyway. This is targeted. You can target this at a specific coach. You can target this at a specific position. I'll leave that up for your interpretation. But in my job, right, and anybody else that's listening, if you don't do your job at work, unless you got a terrible manager and a terrible employer, you don't do your job, you get fired.
Boom.
Okay? So I know when I wake up every day, I better do my job or I'm going to get fired.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I don't care if we want to talk about student athletes, or we want to talk about they should get paid or they're on scholarship, whatever the hell it is. But at the end of the day, you got a job. You got a job when you're in high school. All right? The best man who works their butt off gets the start. Okay? That's what I mean by job. Sorry, not like an actual job. I didn't work in high school.
No, we got you. You're 111.
All right? But when you're playing ball, hopefully, I pray to God that you're not starting strictly because of talent. I hope that you earned your right. And sometimes that's true, sometimes it's not. That's not my, that's up to the coaching staff, whatever, right? That comes across the board, whatever level you're talking about, NFL, college, junior high school, whatever, right? Pee-wee, doesn't matter. Sometimes the wrong guy starts, sometimes the right guy starts. But hopefully you earned your right to be the starter.
Yeah.
All right? And you got to keep your position. All right? So what I want to know, and this is going to dig deep into the people, and I really don't care because guess what? I'm T-Rex, and I've already taken enough flack over my so many years of being a Baylor fan. Because guess what? I didn't go to Baylor, in case you didn't know that. And I don't care if you don't like me because I didn't go to Baylor. And we can get in on it on Twitter all you want because it doesn't matter. But I've been a Baylor fan my entire life.
Yeah.
And guess what? If Sean Bell wasn't the best quarterback we had at the time, Sean Bell wouldn't have been started. If RG3 wasn't the best quarterback we had at the time, RG3 wouldn't have been starting.
Talk to him.
I'm sorry, but what in the world is going on in the quarterback room to tell me or to show me that Charlie Brewer is the best quarterback? I know Matt from D.C., my brother. I don't care if anybody knows we're brothers. We like to joke about the fact that we're brothers or we're not brothers, whatever, because it's just a gimmick. And he disagrees with me on this. But are you going to sit there and tell me that Charlie Brewer is the best option we have? And if he is, I'll eat my words. But if he is, what in the world is going on in that quarterback room? That's what I want to know. Because if he's the best option, so be it. I don't get paid millions of dollars to be the head coach or the offensive coordinator. Whoever knows what they're getting paid.
That is true.
Thousands, doesn't matter.
That is true.
I don't know. I'm just a fan. Just like y'all, we all play a part, but we're just fans, right? We don't know what's going on. But what if he's the best option, so be it. But I want to know how he's the best option right now. And if he is, like I said, so be it. But if he's not, but yet he's still starting, something else is going on. And because I don't understand how, like, I believe I heard, I caught the tail end of some of your conversation earlier. I believe y'all said that we held them to the lowest scoring average in like 60 games or something. I may have misheard that or not.
Yeah.
But
play the tails off.
how in the world does our defense go out every game 2 years straight. I'm not going to talk about 18 or 17 or back and forth before we even had a damn defense. But our defense the last 2 years have been laying their lights out. They put their hearts out on the line every play. Every play. Whether they get scored on or not, they put it all out there. So our defense does everything in their power to keep us in the game, but we can't score more than 7 points until garbage time, and we're playing a team that probably has a quarter of their players out because of COVID. Come on. And I know they're OU. I know they're Oklahoma, and with that comes a whole different caliber of talent. I get that. But, hell, we took them to overtime in the Big 12 Championship. We were whipping them last year, but we couldn't finish the job, and that's a whole different argument. But I just want to set the seed there, and I want people to understand that we could be undefeated this year if we knew how to score points on offense. So where is the problem? What is the issue here? Because our defense keeps us in the game. You know, they didn't have the turnovers like they have. You know, they talk about the take three and all that, and I love that motto. And unfortunately, we didn't get 3 turnovers this game. And that's okay because they're Oklahoma. They've been there. They've done that. That's why they beat us last year, because they've been there. And they've done those things. And they knew at halftime when we were whipping their butt last year, Lincoln Riley, I guarantee you, came into the locker room and said, listen, guys, calm down. We're going to win this game. And they came out and whipped us. And that's what it is. You know, that's the difference between caliber of talent and being there and not being there. And that's okay, because I hope one day we're there.
So
I hope that we are.
What's your message there, T-Rex? We got to get to the next few. What's your underline
the
right
message,
here?
The underline is Charlie Brewer ain't the damn quarterback that he should be starting. Try something different. And if you ain't willing to try something different, then why am I writing a donation check every week? Because I know I'm not the only one who's pissed off. So guess what? Baylor football, Baylor athletics, if you want my check, you better fix it.
T-Rex, thanks for your call, as
That's
always.
All I got.
Look, if we get to a point as a program where the donors are deciding who plays on the field, you're in a very low point. So, JD, you take that one.
You know what, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. You made a good point about COVID and the pandemic. I think you made a good point about Missouri being 5-3, first year new coach. Everyone's got the same hand right now. Nobody has a higher, there's no advantage with COVID. And what I've noticed, the good teams, the good teams stay good. Ohio State's still good. Clemson's still good. All the teams that were good before are still good now. And the teams that maybe were more on the borderline, and teams like Baylor with a new staff, they're having to take a few steps back. And I get that. But at this point in the year, you gotta show more progress. And they've shown more progress with this game, but at the same time, you got to put a little more on film in terms of execution. They just haven't done that at all. In regards to quarterback situation, I don't know. I wish I was a fly on the wall in the quarterback room to tell you that Charlie was far and away the best option. His track record, 10 wins last year, that makes it feel like it is.
Right.
But I don't know. But the guys that are getting paid a lot of money to feed their families are saying he's the best quarterback. So that's a cop-out, but that's my answer.
Joe Frazier, DFW, you're on with Sic'Em365 Radio. Thanks for holding on the line. Michael, you're right after him. Joe, what you got?
First of all, I'm going to address Michelle. Stay off this Baylor line. This is for green and gold people and people that matter.
UT Michelle.
Michelle, you need to take it's Michelle now. That's all you need to know.
That's good.
It's Michelle. Take your orange self and stay in Austin, because you're not wanted here. And nobody cares what's going on down there. Not to mention, if we really want to get sticky with it, back a few years back when the whole Art Briles stuff came up, I do recall that might have been started because of somebody that was in an orange and white that kind of got their feelings hurt because Baylor was beating them quite a bit, and they were on the down low, so they had to kind of dig up some stuff to throw out there. I'll leave that one to be.
We don't want to
not going there.
However, as far as tonight goes, I'm 100% in agreement with T-Rex on what the heck is going on in that quarterback locker room. Yeah. Because if Charlie Brewer is number one, it's not, to me. I don't see it. We're a broken record, game in, game out. It's the same thing. Defense plays their tail off. Offense stinks it up.
So, Joe, I have a question for you.
At this point, it's beyond just the offensive line. It's beyond one or two people. It's a collective offense as a whole. Yeah, granted, Charlie Brewer, I'm not a fan, won't be a fan, could care less right now. I'm tired of the broken record, day in, day out type stuff. And one quick thing with COVID, Baylor got hit with COVID hard this year.
True.
Not saying it's an excuse, but if you look across the landscape, Baylor got hit probably the hardest because how many different things were rescheduled? How many different things were rescheduled at the very beginning, and they couldn't get started? Then, once they finally got started, they had to stop again.
Yeah, they had
it
bad
was
luck.
a start, stop.
They had bad luck. I don't know if they were the hardest out of everyone, but they had bad luck.
In sports, period, it's hard. Granted, again, it's not an excuse to dwell on. And then I'm going to leave you with one really big nugget. They were talking about Art Briles. We were talking about Mount Vernon. You better watch out, though. What's his alma mater?
High school?
Think about it.
It's like
where did he go? Where did he go to college?
Oh, Houston.
Where did he go to college?
Houston.
Where did he graduate from?
Houston?
Because nope.
I would love to know.
He's got ties
love to hear
up
your
in
answer.
that western part of the Big 12, the northwestern part of the state of Texas, where that red and black is. Who was his mentor when he first came around? The Pirate himself.
Wow.
Don't sleep on that. He could be going up that way. I'm just going to throw that out there and let everybody know you heard it first right here.
Joe Frazier.
I'll hang up and listen.
Letting that one marinate. Thanks, Joe. Letting that marinate. Conspiracy theorist. This show's got it all.
I didn't know the Pirate was his mentor. Did you know the Pirate was his mentor?
I did not know the Pirate was his mentor. That's pretty. I believe it.
I learned a lot on this show.
I 100% believe it. Michael from Dallas, you're on with Sic'Em365 Radio. Talk to us, Michael. Thanks for holding on the line.
Hey, fellas. Cue the Stephen A. soundbite. I am having a bad day. Not because Baylor football lost, but also Baylor Gonzaga got postponed this morning.
That
because
sucked.
Players
bummer.
I hated that.
Real bummer.
But I digress. This is not a basketball postgame show. This is a football postgame show.
Not yet.
Getting there.
I wanted to focus on the first half, mainly on the play calling on the offensive side. The defense kept us at the game, and I thought we had a shot. You look at the plays where we're back in Oklahoma territory. We won 3 straight running plays, on the goal line side.
Yeah,
and also in the half, there were some, we were in field goal range, 4-down territory, but we tried to go down the field, looking for the big home run plays instead of trying to, get some short yardage here and there, when it's four down territory.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know with you guys said to be, patient with the coaching staff. Some people like T-Rex and myself are a little bit more kind of annoyed now. It's like, hey, we're late to the season, seeing results.
2-6 is not fun.
It is not fun at all. But when you're playing blue bloods, like Oklahoma, I don't know if you would call Oklahoma a blue blood. You got to be aggressive with the play calling, and I just don't think we're aggressive enough. And going forward to next season, that's going to have to change. So thanks for the call. I'm just going to listen to you guys.
100%. Thanks so much, Michael. I'm not as with it. They threw a lot of deep ball. They threw more deep balls than you're used to seeing Charlie Brewer heave down the field. Not to mention Charlie Brewer threw the ball 56 times today.
Yeah.
Charlie Brewer is not built to throw the ball 56 times.
Yeah. I just get stuck on that 4.7 yards of completion.
That's not good.
You just got to push the ball downfield. I know they went deeper more than they have during the season, so that's again, progress, but you and I both know, and I've probably taken some heat for this, we're not in the business of moral victory. You can be undefeated in moral victories, but that doesn't get you paid at the end of the day if you're a coaching staff. It doesn't get you to the league if you're a player. And so, yeah, you gotta swing for the head because you went for the king today, man. You got to swing for the head, and you better not miss when you swing for the head. And Baylor just kind of was content to take body blows and just kind of jab a little bit, and that doesn't win you games, especially not when you have the situation that you do have Baylor right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bachelor of the Hour, Armstrong Sim, Sic'Em365 Radio.
Gosh, we're just checking in, just checking in on the YouTubers. Or the tubers, as I like to call them.
As one would.
Yes, we got DG on the YouTube chat. I will always have high expectations with BU. I know it's a process and takes time, but just frustrating and confused about the offensive struggles. Next year will be much better. It's got some optimism on the YouTube chat.
What do you think? I want to hear your take, Armstrong. You don't talk. We don't hear enough from you.
I know. Armstrong, I love it. He's back there in the back of the cave where he's got a bunch of computers and things. He's in his domain right now.
This is the back.
But I need you guys to know Armstrong is what makes the show go.
Yeah.
Oh, I just enjoy making the show go, but and listening to y'all. But I don't have high hopes about next year.
Oh, Mike.
I have high hopes about.
Joke's on you guys. You thought one of us was the bad cop? Armstrong's the bad cop.
I have high hopes about maybe. Okay, guys. I have high hopes about 4 or 5 years down the road.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe
but
next
Armstrong,
year.
you don't get 4 or 5 years in college football anymore.
It's tough. It's tough.
I think Dave Aranda will get 4 to 5 years.
I hope.
Yeah.
I like Dave.
Yeah.
Because he's not just hired because Macros didn't just sit there and say, who's the flashiest new coach.
Yeah, you're right.
He actually made a decision, and he has a personal relationship with him. He hired him for more than just you were good before,
Yeah.
And I think Larry Fedora has that too. I think there's a leash on Larry Fedora, as there should be. The guy is not. Look what he did with Mitchell Trubisky, who is a less than capable NFL quarterback. That's objective, and he turned him into one of the top. He was number 2 draft pick in the country with Fedora and the guys that make his offense run. When he gets his personnel in there, things are going to look a lot different.
Yeah, I will say for first-year coaches, though, you're going to get a lot of passes all across the board. I mean, there's success that we've seen in the first year, like you said, at Missouri, but as a whole, it's going to be a scratch for just about everyone else that started a program
Sam
this
Pittman.
year. Like, it's going to be a
there
lot
are
of
first-year coaches that look better than Baylor, though.
Definitely coaches that look better than Baylor. A lot of situations better than Baylor. And also, Baylor's just kind of drawn the short end of the stick in a lot of close games this year. Just a lot of stuff that hasn't gone their way. And it went their way last year. So you're seeing the same close games. It's just like the alternate ending, like the director's cut, where they don't win the game or the bad guy wins in the end of the movie. And that's kind of what we're seeing a lot this
hate
season.
those movies.
I hate those movies, too. So I never watched the alternate ending. I always watched the good ending. That's what we saw last year.
Steven from Virginia, you're back with Sic'Em365 Radio.
Hey, guys. I had a couple of things that I wrote down, and I wanted to start with
let's do it.
The O-line needs to grow up to the next quarterback. Charlie was perfect for the team the last few years. To be where we are and not where SMU was after their scandal, I think is in large part due to Charlie. Partly because we can't run and we can't pass block. And that has been 2 struggles of this team for the last few years. And we have been able to be bailed out by Charlie by running for first downs and being tough and making tough plays and gritty plays.
Right.
But to be honest, that offense is never going to score more than 30 points a game without multiple turnovers and possible, touchdowns from the defense. So I understand how people are upset.
Okay.
But the other thing I want to say is if you're going to call for the next man up, I don't want to hear anything about Zeno. Zeno's like 2 for 7 in his career.
Boom.
You've been saying that. You've been on that train.
Amen.
Yeah.
Are you giving me
Zeno
real
has thrown 2 good
stats?
passes his entire career. Zeno has thrown 2 good passes in his entire career, and you're not going to convince me that a player who started for 4 years, you're not going to turn around and go, yeah, this guy who went 2 of 7 against Oklahoma and lost the game is better than this guy. You're going to have to come up with something.
He was
better
highly
than that.
recruited, though.
If you want to tell
Zeno
me
was a
that
high recruit.
Gary Bohannon, the
who is better?
State,
You know who is more
Arkansas
recruited?
State of the year player
Kyron
is better.
Reynolds.
I can buy that, but I can't buy that about Zeno.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of where I am. And I don't want to call for anything, and I'm not trying to be that way because I love Baylor, man.
Yeah.
I love Baylor.
Steven from Virginia, as the crowd at McLean chants, "We want Zeno," he's the one guy that's chanting, "We want Gary."
Yeah,
what are you chanting, Steven, when all that's going on?
I'm chanting.
I love Baylor so much, man, and it's so enjoying that these games are on television. I mean, I remember when games were never on television. You could only listen to the internet hookup. And I also want to say, I know Brian is listening. This whole Sic'Em365 radio and everything has been one of the best things in 2020, man. One of the best things. And, this may not have been the best season, but I think a lot of us have gotten a lot more enjoyment out of Baylor than we would have because of Sic'Em365. And I hope that people can take that to heart.
Well, thank you, Steven.
I love it.
Appreciate that.
Steven, thanks so much for your call. As always, we love having you on the show, and that's going to take us into another break, and we'll be right back on Sic'Em365 Radio.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and two-time Big 12 champion. And I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs, even offering financing if that's needed. Everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance in McLennan County takes pride in backing Central Texas football. Our agents would like to help with your insurance needs. Call 254-772-8090 for an agent near you.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries, celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas. Our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trust the doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
This is the Sic'Em365 radio postgame show.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T studio. You're with myself, Drake Toll, alongside former Baylor football player J.D. PicKell on Central Texas' #1 radio hour, the Baylor postgame show on Sic'Em365 radio. Call or text us at 254-339-1122. Oh, it's quiet. We're working on it.
This wasn't good enough. It's a no from me.
Oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that. Oh, well, we tried.
A lot of good content on the board this week.
You did your best, but I guess your best wasn't good enough. It's a no from me.
Those are the sounds of the week for me. It's just the Baylor played well. They didn't do poorly. They just ended up losing the game against a really good Oklahoma team. I have it on good authority, though, that Armstrong 3 years ago said that his dream was for Baylor football to be bad and to accept that Baylor is a basketball school.
I wouldn't say it was. I said it was my dream, but I do like basketball. I'm a bigger basketball fan than I am a football fan, and I want Baylor to be a basketball school, but football is holding that back.
Hey Armstrong, that shovel you got right there, put it down. The hole's been dug.
No. I stand behind it.
Why can't we have both?
You're only.
Let's get some of these texts.
You can't have both. We can't have both.
We've got George Schroeder on the call line. George, you're with us on Sic'Em365 radio.
Man, how is it going tonight? I have to tell you right now, I was at that game. I was with some friends. I live in Norman.
That sucks.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
No, hey, you know what? Honestly, I walked away from that game satisfied. And you know what? I'm not the world's biggest Baylor fan. I honestly can't say I'm as big a fan as some of these previous callers that I've listened to.
George, what's going on?
I understand their frustration. Well, let me tell you, I was very satisfied with our defense tonight. Our defense tonight stepped up, and I don't think OU was playing at its top performance level. I don't think anyone would sit here and tell me that. But man, Baylor's defense was so good. I mean, putting pressure.
What Dave Aranda did in his old job?
You tell me, what was it?
He was a defensive coordinator for a national championship-winning team that had the best defense in the country.
You're kidding me.
No, George, I know that you know that, but it's like most Baylor fans just don't.
Isn't that weird? Well, well, let me tell you.
Tell me.
Whoever doesn't know that shone through tonight. And I think if you're a fan of Baylor football, I think that bodes extremely well for the future. And quite honestly,
quite frankly,
I can't say his performance was amazing. Quite frankly, Drake, I can't say that his performance was amazing, but Charlie Brewer did well tonight. I think it was inconsistent, but it did well. And quite honestly, if we had played the way we played in the fourth quarter, at the end of the fourth quarter the whole night, we would have won that football game. And that's what I think. I was sitting with OU fans. A lot of my friends are OU fans, and they were not happy with that game, and they agree with me. If we had played the way we played in the fourth quarter, we would have won that game.
Wow. George, thanks so much for your call, as always. He prefaced that with, guys, you know, I'm not a very big Baylor fan. You know, I don't love Baylor all that much, actually.
It seems like
but I'm proud.
Because it's 11:30 Central when he's calling into the Sic'Em365 postgame show, which we absolutely love and adore. The defense is outstanding, man. This defense is for real.
Yeah.
With 2 starters back from a year ago, Jalen Petrie is the truth. Also, a running back is playing linebacker for you right now. A guy who's played running back a year ago, and Abram Smith is now playing linebacker. Made some plays tonight, man.
How about this? Baylor had 2 47-yard field goals. The second one coming after the old Shankopotamus was seen in Norman tonight, native to Oklahoma, Shankopotamus.
Yep.
Baylor had great field position, settled for 2 field goals, and you miss them both. So, yes, granted, your defense plays really, really well, but I agree with a lot of these callers. Your offense, especially when they have great field position, it's put up or shut up.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, no one's questioning the defense.
Yeah.
People are asking, where is the Baylor offense? And there were signs tonight where you go, holy what?
Yeah.
Baylor's offense doesn't look that bad. They're looking okay right now.
Against a good defense.
Complete that that pass to Jalen Ellis, who I knew was going to have a huge night tonight. You know, Jalen Ellis is on my radar. 39-yard completion.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah. Your offense, when they are in situations that would behoove you as an offense with a 3-year starter at quarterback and Tyquan Thornton and R.J. Sneed and Treston Ebner, score. Just score.
I think we talked about it a lot early in the season, like, hey, can you please try and run the football? And they got back to that last week at Kansas State. They did it earlier in the season with Quaylen Jones, 20 carries.
How many rushing yards did Baylor have tonight?
26 rushing yards.
How many times did they run the football?
25 times. Maybe those numbers are reversed, but
JD,
the fact that they're so close together.
You played 5 years of collegiate football.
It's not good. It's not good.
Is that good?
It's not even close to good. It doesn't okay, let me back up a little bit. When you run the football, it causes your safeties to move up into the box. So they have to account for the offensive line, running the power play, the inside zone play, all that. It keeps the defense honest. When that happens, there is a lot of green grass behind the secondary, more than there was before, to go deep, to throw the ball to guys like R.J. Sneed, to throw it to speedsters like Tyquan Thornton, to Jalen Ellis, to let your playmakers make plays. And so the fact that you only ran the ball with your running back, I think our leading carrier was Jonah White, 3 carries, 18 yards. 3 carries for a running back? Only 18 yards, those safeties can just camp out in the back. They can camp out on the back end and just give it 10 yards of cushion and not even have to worry about it.
So, honestly, pretty content with the showing minus the offensive line. This comes from the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. Defense, the offensive line was okay to me. You know, they gave Charlie Brewer some time on deep passes, and he was only sacked, I think, 3 times tonight compared to 7 against Kansas State. Defense looks good and is in the right place, just not making some plays. Petrie is elite. Yeah, he is. It's like next man up on the defensive side. I love it. When Charlie has time, he looks serviceable. Not what you love for a veteran. Possible next year QB. Probably time to move on. Thornton finally making a contribution. Jonah White looks really solid. Hope the injury isn't bad. Baylor +6 with 2 missed field goals. OU -7 with obvious pick. Blake, thanks for that analysis. And if you didn't see the game out there, well, you just heard the recap.
Yeah.
That was good.
Not as good as the 14
What do you do for a day job,
game.
Blake? Because I tell you what, we're always looking for writers.
Always.
Garland Bear. Hang up on UT Mike when he calls. UT Mike.
Yeah. Let's move on.
I'm going to have to agree with Garland Bear on that one. Wasted a greasy defensive performance, missing your top 4 running backs, and one read QB is a lot to overcome.
One read QB is harsh.
That's kind of
One read QB is harsh. I will say this: he didn't look like he had a whole lot of time more than one read's worth. Like he's taking a 3-step drop and hitching up, which is so. When you're taking a drop, every drop is correlated to the passing scheme. So if it's 3 steps, it's supposed to be a quick pass. If it's 5 steps, a little bit longer developing. He took 3 steps in a hitch, which should have been a quicker developing pass play. He's getting hit on his hitch, so he doesn't have even time to digest the entire defense. That's not a good thing. Again, you said I played college football. It's not a good thing. I didn't play quarterback, but I know it's not a good thing.
Got T-Rex on the phone line. T-Rex back with Sic'Em365 Radio. Got about a minute and a half here, T-Rex.
Hey, gentlemen, I appreciate it taking my call again. I'm sorry about earlier. I went on a definite rant, and I apologize.
We
for
love
that.
you. We love you. Dinosaurs are not extinct.
So let me clarify something real quick. I love Baylor. I'll be in Oklahoma State. I'll be there every week, right?
Yeah.
I love Baylor. Ride or die. I've seen the lows. I've seen the highs. It's all right.
Yep.
We'll be okay, right? We're gonna be all right, and that's okay. You know, you just gotta. We all as Baylor fans, we gotta dig in, and you're either with us or you're out the door. So
I like this.
Either be with us or be out of it. One real quick, Jonah White. I saw him after the game. He looked all right. I think he just got shaken up. When I was kind of about 15 or 20 yards away from that, he basically flipped over the bench. I think he just kind of landed weird. I think he's going to be all right. He looked okay after the game.
Good.
So hopefully no worries there. Just an awkward thing. It happens, right? With the bench, they don't have they're not Oklahoma State sidelines, but OU sidelines still aren't that deep. So I think it'll be okay.
Good.
So no worries there. Real quick, I just want everybody to realize it's a crazy year. Every year's crazy. And again, we're going to be okay. Yeah. I know I go off on tangents sometimes, and I say the things I say, and I'm emotional, and I apologize. Sometimes I probably should just wait before I call in, because right now I feel a lot better. I'm trying to find my way to my car. This walk to the stadium was a lot harder than right now, trying to get back to my car. We'll be all right. So, you guys, the radio show, I appreciate y'all. Y'all be all right. Keep doing what y'all do. Baylor Nation, we're going to be okay. Appreciate you security guys, too. Give a shout out to the guys that walked by.
Love it.
I think I found my car.
Love it.
We're going to get out of Norman.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, before you let me go, before you get to commercial break, Sic'Em Bear as always. Next year, we'll see you in Waco, Oklahoma. We'll be all right.
Yes, sir.
Let's go beat Oklahoma State. Let's finish the year strong, and we'll be okay.
How about it?
Bears for life, always. I'm out.
Sweet. Thank you, T-Rex. Pour him a drink, bartender. We have an anonymous caller here on the Sic'Em365 Radio call line. Hit us, Baylor football.
Hey, I was just wondering, because we talked about all this stuff that's kind of negative. What do you think we're doing good? Like, what does our future look like? Do we have hope for the next season?
I love this.
This is awesome.
A positive call.
Anonymous caller. Call back more often.
It took 54 minutes on the Sic'Em365 postgame show, and someone asks what makes us happy.
Jalen Petrie makes me very happy.
Jalen Petrie makes me happy.
Jalen Petrie is the best player on this football team, and he's going to have a bright future on Sundays. He's playing linebacker a year ago. Now he's moved to that star position, kind of safety-esque, shed a few pounds. He's lightning quick, and he is a big play waiting to happen on defense, and that's rare to say.
Jonah White caught 9 passes today. Most of them short.
A lot of catches.
But look, if you'd told me before the game, hey, what year is Jonah White? I just said, look, take my wallet. I don't. You've got it. It's fine. Anything else there, anonymous caller?
No, that's it. You guys are doing great. Thanks for all you're talking about and stuff.
Thanks so much for your call. And, wow, I feel a lot better about not only Baylor, but my place in the world after that.
Yeah, I feel like I have a reason.
That was good.
Like I had purpose.
Oh, Armstrong. Okay, so I'm going to hit the little button over here that makes the thing say whatever it says. But this one's got to be for real. Like, this one's got to be good. We ready for this?
I think so.
Okay. Okay, not yet. This is close, though.
Yes, but this is exactly what I've been waiting for.
One more time.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for. This is exactly, I don't mean to sound like Cat Williams, but this is exactly what I've been waiting for.
Put them up. Put your 4s up right here. It's the 4th quarter. It's the end of the game, and it all comes down to this. And Baylor Bigfoot is on the Sic'Em365 call line. Baylor Bigfoot, we're coming to you from the deep forest, wherever you may be. Jens Danielson, turn your ears off.
Let's go.
Hello?
Yes!
Talk to me.
It's man Bigfoot. Don't be the phone. Just want to apologize for calling later than usual, guys. I dropped a massive in my toilet once again. Please send your prayers for my toilet. It may be TMI, but I wanted y'all to know. Glad I can call in for the first time ever to do Postgame show.
Yeah.
Before I get going, I want to give a huge shout-out to Michael McNair,
Yeah.
the stud senior linebacker who made multiple tackles
How about
on the line
it?
of scrimmage at the end of the game for Baylor. Roberts and Aranda are true legends for giving him a chance and letting him prove why he needs to play more.
Yep.
You know, I also want to give a shout-out to Landry Walsh, Baylor's director of on-field recruiting.
Yeah.
This one's for
Best
you.
in the business.
December already? You know what the kids start singing in December, right?
It's almost Christmas.
E flat.
There's probably bad cell service
Bigfoot.
wherever Baylor
You better
Bigfoot
not,
in the
hey,
forest.
you better not pout. I'm telling you, mate. Baylor Bigfoot's coming to town. He's ranting and raving on Baylor football. He's dying to give Landry Walsh a call. Baylor Bigfoot's coming to town.
Is this real?
He knows when you're not blocking. He knows when you're a prick. He knows Jens Danielson is fake to hire him or Travis Frederick. So you better watch out. You better not hate. You better not pout. I'm telling you, mate. Baylor Bigfoot's coming to town.
We don't deserve you. We don't deserve you.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. I just want to talk about how great it is to call to a show like this. And, obviously, Charlie had a decent game. He stopped throwing the ball into the defender's face. More so than that, the line should block for him and not allow the defenders to get their hands up. And I put that blame squarely. Right after that original song, so I'll hang up and listen. Beers out.
Baylor Bigfoot.
Jens Danielson.
Seat
is toasty.
We're calling for
Seat
you.
is hot.
He cut out a little at the end, but I think he was putting all the blame on Jens Danielson.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
That's what I saw
That
today.
sounds like it's on brand.
I was looking at the game, and I thought, you know what we need right now? Less Jens Danielson.
Never more Jens
I saw
Danielson.
a lot of Jens Danielson out there today.
And if I see it again next game,
it's over.
Tell you what,
Poor
bad
Jens
things are going to
Danielson.
happen.
We pay him way
Bad
too
things
much
are gonna
money.
happen.
He is at his grad assistant spot. Yeah. We've got the Riverbend Liquor and Wine hotline. Can you guys talk about John Mayers? Not only did he come short on 2 46-yarders, coach doesn't trust him. Look, here's the deal. John Mayers is one of the most clutch players that Baylor's had in the last 2 seasons. It's not like this guy just going out there and booting it, He's not an Alabama kicker is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm throwing some heat at Alabama. Yeah.
That's the one advantage I feel like we have over Alabama right now.
And
for
everyone
sure.
else. Yeah.
For sure. No, John Mayers, sometimes you just don't have it that day. And that's okay. That's okay. You're not going to make every kick. It's unfortunate it happened twice in a row and in that kind of fashion, but John Mayers is a good kicker. Let's all relax a little bit. And I know I'm going to get a lot of good cop heat for that, but that's okay because I think that's a very precise take. Similar to John Mayer's field goals the majority of the time.
This Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line, Baylor gave great effort today. They did.
We love great effort.
You did your best, but I guess your best just wasn't good enough.
And great effort is the price of admission.
But that's okay. Oklahoma is a
Price of
top
admission.
15 team, a top 10 team in the country, and Baylor gave them everything they had. They threw out the kitchen sink, played really well, and looked good. Hey, Charlie Brewer, 4th down pass, Tyquan Thornton for a touchdown. Come on.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was
Get him up.
Broken play. Tyquan Thornton, a guy who's been hurt a little bit this year.
You know who's worse than that? Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is
I'm
not-
taking Charlie
he's not
Brewer
Charlie
over Bo
Brewer.
Nix.
I
So
would
now,
too.
Baylor
I would
fans,
too. Yeah.
think about it. Thank God that we have Charlie Brewer and not Bo Nix.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the honest
Absolutely.
truth.
Final caller of the show right here. Joe Frazier's coming back in from the DFW. Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Jolton Joe, if you will.
Not
You
your
are
average
on
Joe, that's for sure.
Sic'Em365 Radio.
Hey, actually, fellas, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm named after my grandfather. His name was Joe Frazier on my dad's side. My mom's dad was Jack Dempsey, so I'll let you kind of marinate on that one. Wow. However, when it comes to Baylor football and stuff, guys, I mean, I called earlier, and I appreciate y'all letting me call back.
Love it.
But it's one of those things, man. We gotta stop being cupcakes. We got to stop saying, oh, we did good here, we did good there, we did good.
Hey, but there are good things there. It's not all bad.
Yeah, but everybody doesn't get a trophy anymore. We got to get away from that mentality.
Yeah, we don't deserve a trophy. Baylor doesn't deserve a trophy. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just if you're not producing, you got to call it where it is.
Absolutely.
If you're producing, then okay, hey, call it where it is. You can't nitpick to find the good stuff when it's all bad.
Sure. So Joe, this is an honest question for you.
To me, the offense is all bad.
Yeah, Joe, let me ask you
now, because we're not nitpicking the defense to find out what they're bad at, because they're all good, right?
They are pretty
good. They're very
good.
They're probably one of the best in the country. But
we're not picking that defense apart trying to find the stuff in it.
Joe.
But yet we're picking this offense apart trying to find all that bad stuff. Or amongst all that bad stuff, we're trying to find something good.
Joe.
And I will agree with you guys 100%. Jalen Petrie is a man among boys right now.
Joe,
that's a good thing.
That boy,
do I
there
exist?
are good things, Joe.
Yeah.
Am I real?
But again, it's defense related, and it's we're not. That's the thing. We're not nitpicking the opposite. We're nitpicking the opposite on offense because it's so bad. We've got to find the good stuff. Tyquan Thornton, his year as a whole has been deflated, disappointing.
He's been hurt.
He's been hurt.
Okay, Joe, tap your phone screen. You got like six missed calls from JD.
Joe, this is your father.
Oh, here, your mic's on now, JD. There you go.
Great. Okay, thank you so much. Joe, this is an honest question. This is not a loaded question. What would be the course of action that you would like to see Baylor football take? Specifically, I want to hear not just the offense needs to play better. Who do you want at quarterback, and what do you think they would bring to the table that's different?
I would honestly want to see Zito get out there and see what he can sling around.
Okay.
I feel like he's got the arm strength, and I feel like he's got more of an accurate passer.
Why do you think
if we want to do more of a run style, kind of more run first before we pass, then Bohannon's the answer.
Okay.
But me personally, I really feel like Jacob Zeno is where it's at.
What is that based on, though? What is that based on?
I mean, he proved himself in that we got that short snippet of him last year.
He was 2 and 7. He was 2 and Joe. He was 2 and 7 passing.
2 and 7. He went 2 for 7.
Yeah.
Why do you think he has more?
But hey, balls were catchable.
Yeah.
Balls were on point. And he wasn't freaking out in the pocket and throwing it to the wrong color jersey when he was throwing it. I mean, how many games have we gone that Charlie hasn't thrown a pick yet?
It's a great question.
I mean, there hasn't been many.
Good point. That's a good point.
It's sad because Baylor's right where they want to be.
Did you just ask how many games we've gone since Charlie threw a pick?
I think he misspoke.
What? Yeah, Charlie didn't throw an interception last week, Joe. And Baylor won.
That's the first week.
1 day since our last
That's
month.
the first week.
So, Joe, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think the idea of Jacob Zeno is much more appealing than the reality of Jacob Zeno right now. I think everyone loves the fact that he threw those great 2 passes in the Big 12 championship, and they were great passes. They were great plays. But right now, Jacob Zeno is very much like an urban legend.
Joe, Jacob Zeno's a Ford F-250, but without a Cummins, that thing's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's the thing, though, is do we know that?
Well, I think
because nobody's giving him a chance.
Well, the burden of proof is on you, Joe, because he's 2 for 7 so far.
That's what's wrong right now is everybody wants to see something different because then we would know what they know by keeping Charlie in there.
Sure.
Because, I mean, look at the same thing happened with Rattler. They pulled him out. Granted, they said he got banged up. But come on now, we know what banged up really means. Yeah. That guy got pulled. He got benched. And then the kid from Midway came in and played a little bit, got back going, and then they threw Rattler back in there.
Those are two very.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Those are two
little stuff like that. I mean, we're talking about how Oklahoma is such a big blue blood, high caliber. Then start doing what the blue bloods are doing. Then, if we're going to label people in a certain way, go that way.
Spencer Rattler's always played very.
All right, Joe. We got to hit it, Joe. What's your underline right here? What's your underline, Joe? We got to hit it.
Basically, I'm saying Charlie's done. Put a fork in him, and quit blaming the O-line all the time because, hey, who else is going to get out there and block? And then one last thing, I would challenge our kicker. I think I could match with him. I kicked, and then I coached kickers later on after I graduated. But I feel like I could pull a who was it? Chris Winkie? I could pull a Chris Winkie right now and come out there and kick with that kid. He's just got to get it between the ears. That's all it is. I'll hang up and listen, fellas. I love what you guys do.
Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
I love you too. It's really late. Joe, thanks for calling in. It's really late. That's all.
Does he have any eligibility left? Does he have any eligibility to start with?
I don't know what to say.
I'd love to
Joe,
see him go out there.
Get to Waco and kick. Joe, we need you, baby.
Last thing right here from DG on the tube. DG says, what's the chance of Aranda moving on from Fedora due to pressure to improve? 0. Absolutely none. First season, COVID season, doesn't have his players. Larry Fedora is the offensive coordinator at Baylor University. That's not changing after this season. It shouldn't change after this season because Larry Fedora has a great track record, and he still has quite a bit of potential to turn things around, especially when his personnel are there.
It would be foolish.
Come on, guys.
It would be absolutely foolish.
Come on, guys.
It would be jumping the gun completely.
Come on.
Also, I want to backtrack. Charlie Brewer, Big 12 Player of the Week last week, as well as John Mayers.
Yeah.
And now this week we're both saying after a loss, or not, we're not saying that, but the public is officially saying, hey, get them both out of there. We can do better. We can kick better, whatever. But, it would be foolish to fire anybody after the season.
I'm Drake Toll. He's J.D. PicKell. Armstrong Sims is over there. Brian Etheridge. Wow. Thanks so much for giving us this show. Come on, Brian. We love what we do. And after that one, pour me a drink, bartender. It has been a night. We got offensive line GAs
Talking
that are
about
going
Mountain Dew,
out.
baby.
We got a whole lot going on here, and we're going to do it again next week. What do you say?
We'll do it live.
Let's do it live. Drake Toll, J.D. PicKell on the Sic'Em365 Baylor postgame show. Thank you for driving this puppy home. We'll see you next week. This has been Sic'Em365 Radio.